Hello and welcome to the Lost Art Podcast. I'm Paul and I'm here with Gar.
That would be me.
Today's topic is very personal to us.
It's super personal.
Yeah, it's songs from our childhood, so not necessarily any theme that you'll recognise because it's our childhood, unless you are looking in our bedroom windows for our whole life, you fucking weirdo.
Savage.
Or you're our parents, or probably our family.
Unless your parents are our parents.
Yeah, exactly. That
might have
probably
happened.
recognise some of that. God, yeah. Well, you lived in Cabra, so it definitely happened.
I grew up in Finglas.
Oh,
I
sorry.
know, the enemy. I grew up amongst
Sorry.
the enemy. I'm actually from Cabra, but I grew up in Finglas.
That's a rip-off. So close to glory.
I know, yeah. There's just literally just stretch of field. That was like the demilitarized zone.
Did you have to fight your own kin?
No. Not really.
Just didn't fight. It's just stupid.
What's the point fighting?
Yeah,
No.
I didn't do any of that either.
Too busy robbing trains.
So yeah, this is just, we decided to do this episode based on just,
Well, first of all, let me cut ahead of you here.
yeah.
We've been doing
I
so
lost
much.
me train of thought anyway, so.
We've been doing so all the podcasts so far have had so much research in them that it almost took the fun out of talking about the songs.
At times, yeah.
Yeah, because you're after learning so much about this band or singer or song that you're going to talk about that you kind of went into robot mode. With this one, we wanted to do something that was completely, well, not completely, let's say 90% off the cuff.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do something that was much more personal, songs that had a certain appeal to us that kind of lived in a part of our brain since we were children. So we're going to do, as Helmut said, songs from our childhood. They're going to be they don't necessarily have to have been released during our childhood, but just we remember them and they were important to us in one way or another, good, bad, or indifferent.
You've got them too,
We
boys.
remember.
You've got them too.
Everybody has songs that they remember from being a kid.
Yeah.
You know? Now, trying to pick 6 of them is difficult enough.
Yeah.
So this could be a volume 1. Maybe we'll come back to this at some stage. If it works out, we've no idea. Without doing the research, I've no idea what's going to happen here. The only bit of research I done was dates to make sure I wasn't just remembering stuff wrong.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure none of these people had died, because I hate to do a podcast, like you were saying earlier, where you're ripping into someone, well, not ripping into them, but, you know, taking the piss and then realise that one of them had died or something.
Exactly.
Just making sure.
Exactly.
I already knew most of them, but there was a couple of people that I like, was this shit? Jeez, I haven't checked in with that person in a few years.
Because let's be honest, we're getting on in years a little bit. But if we were listening to these songs when we were kids, these people were at least in their 20s or 30s.
Yeah,
so
100%.
time has passed.
Yeah.
So we don't know if they're
I
alive,
wasn't listening
dead.
to any young people when I was young.
I
That's
don't think they
stupid.
were really young.
No, they didn't let young people into music.
No, not really.
Except the Partridge Family had a few kids.
Bros. But they were probably 20 when we were 10.
Osmonds, some of them. Family bands don't count.
Lila Mihal Jackson.
So go on. He might turn up. What's your first song from your childhood?
My first one is a fucking disgrace.
Oh.
It's a disgrace. It's Jive Bunny.
I knew this was going to come because you talked about this being your first album, was it?
The first tape I ever bought in my entire life.
You bought or was bought for
Bought.
you? You bought
With
right,
my own
right,
money.
Yeah.
There was a little market in the Phoenix Park years and years ago, and there was a little music stall, and this would have been just before CDs were coming out, or if CDs were out, they would have been mad money and rare. So everybody just dealt in cassettes, and I'll never forget. I remember like it was yesterday, standing in the rain under this kind of shitty tarpaulin drape, looking at this wall of cassettes, and I had I had Metallica Kill 'Em All in one hand, and I had Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers.
Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, and I'm looking back and forward, and I had heard songs from Kill 'Em All. Bear in mind, this is like 1990, maybe 1991. This song came out in 1990. So I'm looking at Kill 'Em All, and I'm looking at Jive Bunny, and I'm like, all my friends have Kill 'Em All, so I can probably get a tape of that off them.
Good call.
None of my friends have Jive Bunny, and maybe they'll want a tape of this off me. So,
or at least you can pretend you can swapsies with them. You'll get some sucker.
So off I went. I think it was £4 or £3, something like that. It was that long ago. We didn't even have normal money.
Yeah.
And it was half a hair and a goat's leg, and
And a poem.
some unleavened
a
bread,
po-
and a poem of sonnets.
Yeah, you're sitting there. Here, I wrote a poem. Do you want this poem? Trading in
Some
poems.
outler wheeled out a fucking piano, and you had to sing "She Walked Through the Fair." No, I bought it, and probably, honestly, to this day, now, this is unusual. The version that's on Spotify isn't actually, it's not 100% the one that I listen to. The one that I listened to had like all the original songs sampled, and they just put these kind of weird, not necessarily techno beats, but they just got this 4/4 drum machine, this shitty kind of synthetic drum machine, and they just spliced them all together. That's why it was Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers, you know?
Yeah.
And so, if somebody could find me a copy of that original album, if you give me the first 5 seconds of that album, I can do everything. I can do all the lyrics, all the changes. I can do all the chubby checker, do the twist. I can do all of the changes. We're going to do the twist and it goes like this.
I was going to say I'd pay to see that, but clearly all I need to pay for is that tape.
I guarantee if I went on LP for about €1 in Oxfam. I'm actually always looking for it. I do have Jive Bunny LPs at home that I have bought, and none of them will be in the right one. But this, honestly, like,
come on, everybody!
It
was fun music.
It was just garbage.
It was too jumpy and splicey for me. It was jumped around too much.
It was awful.
Now it's almost like a dubstep before.
Yeah, it was like proto remixing. It was just shy. Like this, they were like an English novelty act. I think it was like a Radio 1 DJ and a couple of his mates that got together. Now, what's weird about it is that I think the lads who made Jive Bunny and if I'm remembering correctly, first of all, they got sued by a lot of people.
Oh yeah, because that album would have been so much lifted on
the royalties would have been outrageous on it. But I think they got sued and they had to go off and make another one, and that done well. So they made about 100 of these things. They made Christmas ones, Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers at Christmas, Jive Bunny and the Master
Christmas
Mixers.
Everybody.
It's Christmas, everybody. Like they done all of it. The Hawaii 5-0 in every song. But the guys who were behind this, I believe they went off and they started like the fucking Hardcore House record label or some famous dance music record label after this, and they still run it to this day. They produce albums for people. But this, honestly to God, like that record has to be like one of the worst things to ever be considered art. Like it's a fucking, it's an abortion. But
it means a lot to you.
It means so much to me that when I hear it, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember standing in the rain in the Phoenix Park Market, like absolutely having the full-on Scales of Justice conversation with myself, whether I'm going to buy Kill 'Em All or Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers.
Your life could have turned out so different. No, actually, you got back on track.
Yeah, well, I think the second album I bought was Kill 'Em All. I think it might have convinced...
Yeah, we're making that mistake again.
Yeah, exactly. I think I might have convinced somebody to bring me back to that market the next week.
Yeah.
Because
I'm getting battered around thingless.
Yeah, exactly. I think the album came out in 1989 or 90. I can't remember. I was young. I was probably about 10 years of age when I decided to pick it up. But what's your first one?
A song called Naked in the Rain by Blue Pearl, also from 1990.
All right.
English and American duo. I think one of them was English and American.
I know very little about this.
It's kind of just one of those electronic dance songs, but it wasn't full 90s. It hadn't gone full 90s yet because it was only 1990, so it hasn't gone full. Remember the 90s electronic dance music, which I loved. You'll find out more about that later. Though I used to be a little raver.
Little raver.
I did. It's the area I grew up in, you know.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Finger, I suppose. Blue Pearl Naked in the Rain is a song rather than a dance track.
Yeah.
It really is, like, from start to finish. The sample, not the sample here at the start, but the little synth line that they play at the start is what made me, even before I really started listening to Blade Runner and stuff like that as a kid, I was like, that just those few notes and the way that sounds, that's amazing synth. Got me into all synth kind of music. Outside of that, it has got those really irritating 90s, you know, crash, smash, all that crack.
That was a big thing, though.
That was massive, absolutely massive, and it didn't age well at all. It started in the late 80s, mid to late 80s,
there
and
was
then
a massive movement of that type of music in
crashing,
like 87 onwards. I always remember my uncle, who was mad into like techno and dance music and house and all this kind of stuff. And he had a big giant record collection in my grandmother's house. And I always remember going through his LPs and just playing random songs. I remember this RoboCop song that had a sample from ED 209.
Nice.
Just constantly. It was just like every 4 seconds ED 209 was telling people to drop their guns or he'd open fire. And I was obsessed with it for a while.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you who half the acts were, you know.
Yeah. Well, Blue Pearl, I don't think really had many stuff. I do know, weirdly, we're always trying to Pink Floyd seems to find their way into nearly every podcast.
Is Nile Rodgers in it as well?
No, it's just him and Chic.
All right.
As Chic.
As Chic.
No. David Gilmour plays guitar on, I'm pretty sure he's on this song actually.
Weird.
Naked in the Rain is a really fucking, it's just a really classic, it's kind of touching between R&B, kind of mixed with, that's what the influence between England and America was. It had the soul singer, presumably from America, and the guy from
maybe from
England.
Ipswich.
Yeah. Naked in the Rain. It's one of those. It could fit onto those playlists with Sandstorm and early Prodigy 90s stuff like that, and it wouldn't stand out place. But it is a bit more of a song, and I used to absolutely love when it came on MTV. Absolutely go. The video is a woman dancing. She's not naked. It's actually clouded in the rain. But I don't think they would have got away.
Be a bad idea dancing in the nip in the rain.
She's wearing a cool dress made out of what looks like metal.
Made out of rain.
Chainmail.
Made out of rain.
Made out of rain. Yeah. Listen, every time I hear that song, I just go. It doesn't remind me of 90s when I was a teenager or growing up there. It reminded me of when I was a real small kid, and it was 1990, and I would have been. It doesn't matter actually. I would have been old enough. What's your next one?
My next one is a cover, and it's Status Quo, and the song is "The Wanderer."
Ooh.
And I think, if I remember correctly, I heard this first on one of those. Now that's what I call music.
Right.
It was a double tape, I think, and
those big chunky double tapes,
big dirty one, yeah. The one you get you got a good swing at it, like you burst your sister open with it from across the room, you know. But
unless it broke open for us like a cluster bomb.
But then it was basically just an ninja star, just flapping. You wouldn't know which direction it'd go.
A flying double tape.
Yeah. Status Quo, "The Wanderer." Now this is a cover. This is a Dion song, and Dion's other popular song would have been "Run Around Sue." Would have been another one. It's actually written, the same guy who wrote "Run Around Sue" wrote "The Wanderer" as well. I think it came out in 1984 first, but I do believe it was re-released about 5 or 6 times. It was very popular for the Quo. And I heard it on that, Now That's What I Call Music, whatever number it was. I don't think it was that. It wouldn't be that early, but close enough. Did they do it by year or did they do it by compilation? I can never remember.
They did it once a year. But
did they number it like Now That's What I Call Music 1, 2, or like
that's how they started.
85, 86, 87? Yeah. I never remember.
Then they had to reset it, I think.
Did they? They got to like 101 or something?
It's just, I can't remember what way it was.
I can't get the 101. Just release one a year. Featuring Beethoven.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point because so
it did get to the hundreds.
You know what? There was so much music coming out in the 80s. They would have had to do 4 a year. I can't remember what they did, but I know.
Yeah, they had to do a bunch of them.
Nowadays, it's really fuck no. You know.
Do they still even make Now That's What I Call Music?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's for people that don't have the mental capacity to listen to an album.
They're probably right. To be fair. Like, I love a good compilation. Big fan of a good compilation.
But if it's compilations of shit pop,
well, that's just garbage.
Like, that's just,
yeah. But there was a time. The reason this stands out for me, because if I remember correctly, on the same album was "Should I Stay or Should I Go" by The Clash. What's that? Some people call me the fucking space cowboy fucking song. Whatever.
Steve Miller or Steve Earle.
Some people call me the gangster of love. Whatever the fuck song. Yeah,
that's going to come out real loud on the podcast.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I've seen it there spiking. It'd be beautiful.
A few people on the bus just go fuck.
It'd be dog in the country. If ears prick up. It was a bunch of kind of decent songs on it. Could have been like Silkskin Inside and all that on there as well. I'm not sure. Could have been re-released around that time.
Banger.
Killer song, yeah. Basically all the old like Levi's ads songs would have been on this compilation as well. So this could even be like a re-record of the original Quo cover. I'm not entirely sure because I definitely didn't hear it in 1984 when it came out.
I used to hate Status Quo as a kid. I thought they were stupid.
I hated them until I heard like the original.
But I've heard a few songs with them since. I'm going, actually, different band.
When I heard like Pictures of Matchstick Man, I was that's bananas.
Incredible song.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like Typo Negative cover it with Ozzy. For fuck's sake.
It's incredible. Like once they decided to stick to that 12-bar blues kind of formula, it was whatever.
Yeah,
it was whatever. But like they had it in them. The lads had it in them.
When they were Flower Power, I reckon Spinal Tap was based a little bit around.
Had to be.
Yeah,
had to be. They even looked the same to a degree. Somewhere between Manowar and Status Quo, I think. It's
because they started off with the Flower Power kind of thing.
Oh yeah, very much. Even I think their first album cover kind of Sgt. Pepper's kind of lift as well.
Yeah.